Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Rusty Rise Gravel, welcome back to Scotland. It is a good 25 degrees colder than when I was last out in Portugal, but hey, it's good to be back. It's very green compared to how it was last week. Today we're in the Lothian Hills in South Lanarkshire doing the Daer Reservoir loop. I've had this on the list for a while to do. I think it's actually in Ed's new book, so apologies if I'm sort of treading over well-worn territory here, but it's somewhere I've never ridden, so I wanted to have a go and have a look at it. So we're here today having a look. So a 32-kilometre loop in the Lothian Hills will start in Daer Reservoir, will then go up Glen Agat and the steep climb to Glen Leith Fell at 602 metres. Then it's over to Wedderlaw at 672 metres, past Shieldod and down to the Daer Water to Kirkhope and Daer Reservoir. After the reservoir, we'll jump on the southern Uplands Way to the A702 and picking up the old Roman road back to the start. So I'm back on the old Arcadex today after the highs of the Rock Rider ST100 Sport Trail. So I'm expecting slightly less performance today from the bike than I had last time. Not too bad weather, a bit windy, but the sun should be due to come out. So although I'm a bit chilly, it's going to warm up. But first thing we have to do is go up that glen and then climb up that hill. So I think I'm going to ride for about 5 minutes and I'm going to be pushing for about 15. So back to the classic channel content, I think. Let's get into it. Okay, I think we're going to start our climb now up this gravel track. Not a bad quality track actually, well maintained, some fairly chunky gravel in places, but perfectly gravel bikeable. Let's see what this hill is all about. Some tricky sections there. They've put the gravel a bit deeper, obviously done some repairs, but it makes it a bit squirmy for the bike going uphill. First little bit of climbing done. Quite gnarly in places, quite steep, quite loose. Managed to get up. I have specifically taken a light load today, like my bike's barely got anything on it because I kind of thought I was going to have a bit of a struggle climbing up here. So I've kept it light and nimble. I think if you've got any kind of bike packing stuff on, you're going to struggle to get up there. It's a bit loose. So we go somewhere that way and then we go somewhere that way. Let's keep exploring. Right, I think we're about to leave this track, which I wouldn't class as a smooth gravel track. It's definitely more of the teeth rattler. So be ready for a bit of a shakeabout when you come on this. I think we're going up this hill now and diving off. Yeah, this is definitely on the rougher end of the spectrum for sure. Be prepared for that. So I don't know if you guys have this, but my Garmin very helpfully tells me the profile of the upcoming hills. And according to this, I've got 3.8 to go with 360 meters of climbing. And I'm currently on a grade 7%. Just did 10 just there. It says I've got an average of 9% remaining, which is crazy for a gravel road, if you ask me. Oh, this is never gonna happen. Tell you now. Now I don't have the benefit of Ed's book, so I don't know if I'm going the right way. I'm just doing this blind. Now the reason I chose to come up this way, up the apparently steeper side, because I wanted the views down onto the reservoir on the other side. But it could entirely be that this is the wrong way to do it. I just don't know. But I can't cycle up this. It's too bumpy. The bike's just bouncing everywhere. I need bigger, softer tyres because it's just too bumpy. Whew. But hopefully the grade will, I'm 16% at the moment, so hopefully the grade will drop down a smidge so it'll allow me to at least get back on the bike so I can try to cycle a bit more. 17%. Ah, you monkey of a hill. Nope. Really need like mountain bike gearing for this. My cadence is so low and I'm practically walking on the pedals. So as soon as you bump or lose a bit of traction, you just got no cadence to sort of recover. So your foot just goes down. So there's something to be said about some nice low gearing for some routes. I wouldn't have it all the time for sure. Here we are, 19% just here. There's no way this gravel bike can get up a 19% climb. No way. Look at those views though. Don't mind walking with some of those. Never ceases to amaze me just how steep some of the hill tracks are in places like the Southern Uplands, Peak District, Lake District, Yorkshire. You always think the Highlands have got the toughest climbs, but they're sometimes a lot easier than these. But these just seem to be, the guys just pick a route and just go straight up the hill. Just quickest way up, which I guess works for their Land Rovers. But doesn't work for me and my 40 tooth front chainring, that's for sure. Whew. Slog, slog, slog. Okay, we made it up the first steep bit, and then I saw that going up there. That's where the law, I think. That's where I've chosen to go, somewhat foolishly. So I'm just gonna have a pause, psych myself up for that, I think, because that's gonna be another struggle. So you join our hero, slogging it up a hill again, after just coming down that little track there actually. That was good fun, although careful at the bottom. There's quite a lot of deep like water gullies through the track, so if you get stuck in those you may find yourself going somewhere you don't want to. But now we're pushing up again. I do feel a bit conflicted about the downhill just there. I mean, it was really good, but having just slogged all the way up to then immediately lose all the elevation to then have to blooming slog up again doesn't seem very sensible to me. But there we go. So I think that's the worst of the climbing done. I hope it is. We've done 7.5 kilometers and we've climbed 450 meters, and it was all rough, like very rough. Too much for a gravel bike. It's too much for that gravel bike. Couldn't get up it on that. Lower gearing definitely needed, otherwise you just got no cadence. And I would say maybe higher volume tires so you can lower the pressures a bit, because I was bouncing everywhere. I mean, I run those at what, 45 psi, and even then that was too much. I was still bouncing off and jarring. So yeah, that bit going up, too much for my gravel bike. I don't even know if I want to go down it. I don't think it'll be enjoyable. I think it'll be a bit of a bone jarring seat of your pants type thing. You need to lower the saddle for some of them. But yeah, there we go. Over there, Daer Reservoir, just peeking through. In a moment. I hope you can hear me over this wind, by the way. But I think now we go off over that little track, and then we drop down to the reservoir, pick up the Southern Uplands Way and mosey on and get some more scenery. Excellent views up here though. Even though I moaned quite a lot, well worth coming. Well worth it. Oh, just look at the views. Look at these hills. Oh guys, this was worth it. Look at that. Oh, this is deep, deep slushy gravel. Very, very steep. My rear wheel is basically just skidding down and I'm feathering the front wheel. But do not want that to lock up at all. Not at all. There we go. Oh, that was terrifying. No traction. Now I know the camera won't pick up how steep that is, but that is steep and it is rocky. And there was no way I was cycling down that. Oh wow. This is why I came this way round. Look at this. This makes it all worthwhile, all that climbing pain, to come this way along this track. So like I was saying earlier, as I was bouncing down the gravel there, this way is definitely worth the horrible climbing. This is much nicer. I mean, I should buy Ed's book, you should buy Ed's book, and we'll find out which way an expert recommends. But I think if I had to do this again, I would go this way still. I think this bit's really good. You just have to set yourself in for 7Ks of crazy climbing. So this is your more standard forestry track now, much more suited to the gravel bike. So we've left the Southern Uplands Way and now we're on some kind of mossy, grassy single track. This could be interesting. It's quite slippery and it's full of flies. Oh my word, flies. Well, let's get out of here. So correction to what I said earlier, still on the Southern Uplands Way, and we're definitely on like the marshy footpath part now, but only 400 metres to go, and it's onto the A702 for a quick blast before we dive off onto the old Roman road. Alright, we've left the A road, the A702, I might show a few clips from there actually. I don't normally like to show A roads because they tend to be busy and boring, but that one had a nice view coming out this way. In fact, I think all the way down the A702 from the M74 is just a lovely scenic road. But that's enough about that one. We want to talk more about this one, the old Roman road. Let's explore it and finish off this loop for the day. Look at that little place down there, that little shepherd's thing. Imagine what it must have been like to live in that place. On the one hand, utterly serene. On the other hand, tough. Very, very tough. Gunfire. Someone's shooting out there. I don't know where or what at. There. Don't know if you got that. Sounds big. So we got about 2k to go, back down to where we started, down the hill there, and I thought maybe we'll just do a wrap up in this lovely glen. So it's been a tough couple of hours actually, half a day I think, it's probably what you should allow for it. Going up to the Wedder Law and along the top was the toughest bit. But then once you got over that, and you're going down past the reservoir and then on the Southern Uplands Way and then back on this old Roman road, top notch, absolutely brilliant. I'll put the stats for the ride underneath so you can see what we did. And I guess what would be my top 3 tips? Rusty's recommendations. I think the very first one will have to be bike. It has to be able to do very, very rough stuff. Like, don't be turning up on a 35C road bike with inner tubes because you're going to be having punches all day long and it's not going to be fun. Do you need a mountain bike exclusively for this? No, I mean I got over it on the gravel bike. The mountain bike would make it so much easier on that first bit and some of the rougher stuff, but it's at the top end of what's enjoyable on a gravel bike, I would say, but still doable. If you're up for a challenge, bring that and you'll have a challenge. Tip number 2, I would say, parking wise at the Daer, there's not much there, not much space, so if you're coming with other people, maybe buddy up, because there's, you know, 3 cars I think is all it can take, and there's usually 2 there by the looks of it all the time. So yeah, watch out for that. And then the last one, bring a nice attitude, a positive can-do attitude, because at the start it's going to be tough and it's going to be demoralizing, but it's worth it. Once you get over the top and you see the views and you come down past the reservoir, like I said, and you come along this bit, it is lovely, especially on a day like this. Absolutely brilliant. So there we go, 3 tips and you'll have a nice time here. Right then, I will finish the ride off and make my way back home. I've got another ride tomorrow I'm quite excited to do, packing them in while the weather's good. Thanks for watching everyone, thanks for subscribing. Subscribe if you haven't. Lots more content to come. I've got way more rides planned than I can possibly ever do, but I guess that's half the fun of it, isn't it? So yeah, watch this space for some more exciting rides coming your way. Thanks for everyone who's been watching the last few rides. We're getting back to a bit more normal now. That was a bit like a summer break, I guess, the last few weeks. So we'll get back on it, get back onto standard Rusty Rides gravel content and bring you more brilliant Scottish locations. Thanks for watching everyone, see you next time.